All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Earthboys podcast. Today is episode 30, as they say.
30, as they say.
When you count numbers, and yeah, that's what they say after 29.
I'm still laughing at the thought of you watching this show and your little hooves going.
Oh, they'd be knocking, bruh. Dude, it'd be like the toes, like wide out, like the cat toes, and then it's just like the wiggling in the socks. Yeah. Well, okay. So this show is so bad. It's an old one. It's like mid 2010, something like that.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a newer show.
No.
Oh,
It's an older
that.
show.
That makes sense then.
And so
we were talking about, and we just started this show called Black Sails.
yeah.
It's like a pirate show shot in like 60 FPS, so it looks novella-like. My parents were watching it a while ago.
Dude,
He's on season 4, episode 4, and he just started this like 4 days ago.
Thursday, yeah.
And they're an hour long episodes.
Wednesday or Thursday I started it, but essentially, with the way they filmed it, it's like they're obviously on sets and stuff, but there's some shots where like the light is so artificial and like so bad. I'm like, I think you can just tell it's on a set.
With like a lot of modern movies is like I think I've talked about it before, but have you ever watched like the Dark Knight series, like the Christopher Nolan Batmans?
Yeah.
All the lighting is so even in every scene. It's kind of weird once you sit there and think about it.
Yeah, it really matters.
Now these are not bad movies. It's just more of an example where it's like the lighting is so even in every shot that it like once you kind of think about why is everything so well lit all the time, you're like, oh,
it matters.
Yeah. But sometimes I do agree when it's like you're watching a show and the light's too even sometimes.
Not even that it's too even, but there's some shots where it's like there's no way regular lighting would come through the blinds like that, so hard, like just to get that dust effect, like in like a dusty old room.
Yeah.
And the light comes through the blinds and everything like at the perfect angle to be like cutting through the the scene, and there's like that one beam where all the dust goes through it.
Or like I think certain shots when they're in pirate boats and they only have candles in the show, right? But then the room is like super well lit. You're like,
it's like,
whatever.
Okay, bro.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be really dark and dingy down there, but
you're in the whole of his ship and you have 3 candles.
3 little candles, and you can see all the details of dude's face, and like everything is perfectly lit up. Yeah, I'm like, no way.
I think that was the one thing, and it's like obviously a lot of these shows like rely on like color grading. There was another show they were watching as well, but I don't know if this one. I'm sure this is color graded to some extent, but I'm sure it's not like crazy poppy, right?
It's not crazy poppy, so like there's some scenes that look a little more normal, but for the most part, there's a lot of like color shifting. At least with scenes like that are very bright, like on the beach or outside or something. Like you can tell they changed the colors a bit, just to make it look like normal, you know what I mean? But it's a good show. Like I like it. I'm just finishing it for the sake of like not leaving another story unfinished.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not hating on it.
Yeah,
because I know you.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So I'll be done probably tomorrow.
Yeah, and then the series is over, right? Since you said it's like a mid 2010s show.
Yeah, it's only 4 seasons long. I don't even know if it. Like I said, I haven't finished it, so I don't know. I genuinely haven't seen it, so I don't know how it ends. But I feel like they got to the last part, and then we're like, how do we stretch this out for another season? And then the writers were probably like, let's just kill it right here.
Yeah.
Had 4 seasons
I feel like
long.
it's better when a show ends when it's meant to, rather than it being dragged out and then you see certain characters evolve just for the sake of like the shock factor rather than what was actually written for the character.
Yeah, I mean, the certain stories are only supposed to go for certain amounts of time. You know what I mean? But there have been some character deaths where I'm like, damn, they really did you dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so either
or like
way,
in the original script, it was supposed to be this, and then now you're like,
they just had to kill you off for the sake of the story. They wanted to cut it or whatever. I don't know, but
like what show is really good at that, and obviously it took a couple times for me to like watch it and watch a couple review videos just to see how to help me see how I feel about it.
Yeah,
was Cowboy Bebop, like the original.
Oh yeah,
that one ended like appropriately, even though certain characters like had certain outcomes that you were like, huh,
right?
Oh, I see it.
Yeah,
it's obviously not one of those typical American like everything is happy, but it's like in retrospect, you get like the satisfaction.
Yeah, and I think you like the characters. You end up liking the characters more in that sense because they had an actual proper story and an actual ending to whatever it is that they were looking for, or, ignoring about themselves or whatever. Like, everything when you watch all the chapters together in relation to one another instead of just like separate episodes, then you're like, oh, okay, I get the story more. So it's really satisfying to see it end. It's not the ending you would want for all the characters, but it's the one they needed, basically.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So that's why that one's so good. But yeah, been liking the pirate show. I'm about ready to get over this shit, dude.
You gotta start watching Fallout.
Yeah, well, that's the next one I'm gonna try.
Really?
Yeah, that's the next one I'm gonna try and pull up after this one.
That's a good one. I know it's on Amazon.
Yes. I'm gonna watch it on Amazon Prime. So
I've never used that feature. I've had Amazon Prime since probably 5 years now.
And you've never
I've never Is there a separate app that you download? I don't even know. I've never used it.
To watch this stuff or to
Yeah.
No, when I do it on the computer, it's just you go to Amazon.com and then it's the buying website, and then on the top there's a banner that has the Prime Video option, and then you click on that and it sends you to their video streaming.
That makes sense.
Portion of the website.
Yeah, they've been sending me that email a couple times a year saying you have an unused Prime benefit, and I think they're talking about movie or video.
Oh yeah, there's some movies and videos that come out on it that you have access to for certain periods of time.
Yeah.
So how Netflix will have shows rotating, they'll have it and then they won't have it. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Amazon Prime. I believe that they get certain shows.
Now that I think about it, I probably will rewatch the Fallout show just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
But also, I've been deep into the fucking playing 76.
Oh yeah, you're telling me you're now back in the trenches of that game.
Yeah, I get why people don't like it to the extent because it's less, I would say, linear, and it's more you could literally just waste time no matter what.
Yeah, there's always something to do.
Yeah, there's always something to do, and I the reason why I started playing it is because Fallout 4 I've beat it 1,000 times, so there's genuinely nothing really new in that game for me, Obviously the game came 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, you can only beat it so many times.
Yeah. I mean, maybe at some point I'll come back to it and relax. But I do like the fact that, you can help other players out. The other night, I told you I woke up at, 4 a.m. for no reason.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't go back to sleep, so I just went online, started playing and just helping newer players.
Nice.
Just giving them shit,
Yeah. No, it's a good feeling because you can actually, interact with people in the world, but it's not, how do you say? It's not everybody all at once.
Yeah.
Because the way you're explaining to me, it's you load into a server and you all share that one map. And then there's different stuff that people have built throughout the map and you can go explore and check things out.
Yeah, and see how creative some people are. Because I'm not creative at all. My camp looks like shit.
Yeah, dude. But some of those people are so good.
It looks decent, though, now that I've put up walls.
No, I mean, there's some people who genuinely it doesn't matter what game it is, but any building aspect of it, they're so good at.
They get in there.
And it's what how the fuck did you do this? How did you think to do this? Have you seen those ones where it's they have the mob spawner farms? Have you seen those videos? There's one, I forgot to send it to you, but it was they made a factory, a mob spawner factory, like zombie or ghouls or whatever the fuck, and it would spawn them in a room, and then using conveyor belts or something would push them along and smash them down, and then it would kill them, and then you get to the end and it just drops the loot Minecraft style.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
You just pick up the loot.
It's probably just
and
knowing what the spawning points are, because every spawning base, I know in Fallout 4, there's a specific spawn point. So you could literally put 3 turrets right there on the spawn point, and put no turrets the rest of the fucking 300 degrees of circular that's around you, and you'd never get raided from that side because there's just certain spawn points.
Oh, okay.
So I've kind of figured out mine a little bit too. What I did was I built gaps in the walls where I kind of see where they come from.
Right.
And then I just have my turret set up pointing out there. So now they never get in my base.
Gotcha.
But the problem with my base is there's a spawn point in one of my rooms.
Oh, shit.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So I have a turret in that room. It's hard to put turrets in a room, but I got it by the point little micro hair where it let me.
Oh, God.
And so I have a turret literally chilling. The only purpose of that room is to have the core to my base, where it's it's the little camp thing, and just a turret.
So just to get that one off.
Sometimes they can't hear them when they're in there. You're where the fuck are they? And
Oh
so now
my
that turret's just
God,
in there.
dude.
So if they spawn in there anytime, they just get mowed down by that turret.
That's so horrifying, though.
But that is crazy to actually put a conveyor belt. That's next level hating.
No, they do the whole mob spawner thing, like how you just feed them into like a hallway and then you just mow them down, and then you get all the loot from it and all the XP.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so there's a meticulous cap farm on certain spawn points in the map. So I just thought it interesting. You know, people obviously they do whatever they want in the
Yeah,
game.
people have been playing this game for like 5 years.
Yeah.
You know? Like they have it.
Yeah, they have it on lockdown.
Yeah.
But those people are so good. That's what I'm saying. It's so impressive to see like how they utilize every little part that's available to them to make something look like really, really realistic.
Oh yeah. Mine doesn't. Mine's
And I can't with those building.
dog ass dog.
Yeah, no. The only ones that I was kind of good at was Minecraft, but that's because I would look up the tutorials like on how to build certain houses and stuff. I mean, other than that, nah,
That's
dude.
still a lot of work though too, because like even if you did that for Fallout to like copy someone's base, like the amount of materials and stuff, since that game's like really grindy.
Oh,
like,
it must
the amount
take
of material takes
hella fucking
forever,
materials,
bro.
Yeah.
Like I ran out of concrete building my walls.
Oh my god.
Like I'm only 60% covered.
Uh-huh.
So it's like one of those things. Yesterday I finished part of the main quest line, so now I'm able to have the currency to buy like the best power armor in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I only have the helmet. And you know how long it takes if you ground it every day and got the maximum points every day?
What?
Take you like 35 days to get the full set.
A whole month?
So now I'm kind of like stoked where I'm like, okay, well now I have like a month-long mission,
Yeah.
you know?
God
So
damn.
I'm kind of stoked that like I have something that's like going to keep me home and not
Right.
spending money or just
Yep.
going out. Not that I go out or we go out, but it's like, you know, it's that next level where it's like, if I'm not at work and I'm not at the gym, then I'm okay with just chilling.
Yeah. 100%.
So now I'm stoked for that.
Yeah, man. I haven't really been. Well, I have been going to Derek's house to work on music and art and stuff, and so that's been fun because now that he's back in the swing of things, it's like okay, now on Fridays, like I have something. I'll go to North Park for a couple of hours and do my thing up there. So it's like the one activity, you know.
Yeah.
So I can go the whole week like not doing shit, and then I won't feel like shit because I've done my one thing.
Yeah.
Of like
I feel you.
leaving the house, you know, so it's nice. But I feel you on that, like just not having to spend the money on some bullshit like going out and partying and stuff.
Yeah. Well, you know me, I never did.
Right. I mean, there's a coworker of mine that they're a young person, you know, so clearly they're just gonna be making odd financial decisions.
There's a problem with that though, because it's like, I don't know. Obviously, we've only ever lived in this generation, but you know, when you see a lot of young people doing young people things, going out partying all the time, and then when you hit a certain age and they're still doing that, you're like, oh, that phase isn't over.
Yeah, like you'd think, oh,
And some people drag that shit. Like obviously, we're 20. I'm 27. We're in like that late 20s era, and like you can see people still doing the party thing as much as they can, and it's like, bro, you're 30.
yeah, especially
And none
people
of you
our
are
age.
owning houses or you know anything like that, having any real big investments, and you guys are
Yeah,
still fucking off your money.
they're still having the party life drama and stuff.
Like,
It's
I
like,
get not
okay.
being able to afford a house, especially where we live in San Diego, which is
Yeah.
the most expensive place, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, brother, try
Yeah,
a
you
little bit.
gotta do something
Your savings
different.
account must be massive if you're like out
If you can just
partying.
because that shit's like we've talked about it several times of how expensive it is. And so I have this young coworker. They're 22, I think, or 23 or something like that.
That makes sense.
And they're always, and you know the type. I know you know the type, but they're the type to always be like, "Oh, I'm so broke. Oh, I need shifts. Oh, I need this and that." And then the next day, giving shifts away. Like, you know, this person works 4 days a week or something like that. At least 3 shifts are gone always. Like it's usually never them on that day. And
That's
then,
crazy because
and then
you
they're
can only
always
go
saying,
so long.
right, and they're like, oh, but I'm so broke, but oh, I'm in school, like, oh, I need these shifts, like, oh my god, my check was so small. And then just this past like month or so, they bought like 3 or 4 tickets to like different like
festivals,
like festival events and stuff, and it's like,
probably
dude,
EDC since that's what's coming up right now.
yeah, EDC is the one that I remember 100%, but there's some other small ones that they bought tickets for, and it's like, dude, the tickets alone are expensive.
Yeah.
Plus what you're paying for the journey up there, whether it's a ride or you're going with someone.
And not to mention like all the hotels, because EDC's in Vegas, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. All the hotels are hiked up. Because
Hotels, yeah.
I
Or if
saw it's funny that you actually brought this up.
right.
You know how the Formula One food got leaked?
Yeah, it's
But that's
expensive
for like
as
the
shit.
VIPs,
Right.
You know, which like those people are blowing money anyway, so who gives a fuck? They leaked the fucking prices for things on the EDC as like the card.
Yeah, the bottle was like almost $1,000 for vodka.
A
Like,
bottle of Prime or water is $90.
dude, a Heineken, 12.1 ounce Heineken bottle was, I think it was like $90 or $120.
Yeah, dude, and think about it. You don't think about it. 12 ounces is tiny. Like you ever see those little Coke bottles, those little 8-ounce ones?
Yeah,
They're low key the best ones, but it's also like 8 ounces has gone so fast.
it's like 3 chugs maybe.
Yeah,
For me at least, that's like 3 chugs right there.
yeah. If you can handle the carbonation, I'm sure you could get it down.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If you want to hurt yourself.
But then but at that point you it's like you're standing over the stove, just like burning your bills.
Yeah.
You know, you just get the fire on, like
Oh fuck.
a flat top or whatever. You're just putting the bill down and watching it sizzle on there, like
And the little smoke's going up into the hood. Just
taking a fat breath of it, and smelling the inks burn off the bill. Yeah, it's disgusting behavior. But anyways, like, so they were telling us how excited they are. Like, yeah, I'm sure you're excited, and I want you to have a good time. You know, like
Yeah.
do your events while you're young, whatever. I was probably doing stuff like that. Maybe not as expensive, but you know, it's like we're wasting money also at that age.
yeah, for sure.
But then I think, like, how long can this be sustained? You know what I mean?
It can only. It seems like people do this, and like you can really only go on a 4-month bender or something like that.
I would assume so.
Till like one, you either have nothing in your savings, or two, you've kind of just been racking up your credit cards and making minimum payments. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's the other. I forget
That's
people
the
like to
only
go
problem,
crazy. Yeah,
is that like. Obviously, I'm guilty of this too. Sometimes is buying something on a credit card, but then you still have to pay it back.
Right.
But it's like I never spend money that I don't have. You know.
well, you're always keeping the fact in mind that you have to pay it back eventually.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you're not like going
and
all
for me,
crazy.
it's not one of those where I drag it across a couple months. It's like, yo, if I make this decision, I have to pay this off this month.
Right.
Because I don't want to have a like, what is it? Not a remaining balance. I guess that could be, or like carry over a balance. Mm-hmm. That's just not.
Yeah, and that's a
not good for your
personal
credit, you know?
decision. That's a personal decision you made that keeps you steady in terms of, like, you know, keeping your money safe. But 99% of people don't think like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's very few and far between where I see people that are like, oh yeah, I pay my credit card bills right away.
Yeah.
Like, how are you just letting it sit there? You know, they pay like the minimum $35, and then their whatever balance
Their
just
interest
carries over for the next day. It doesn't change, but you paid the minimum $35, so like the balance never changes.
Yeah, one of my coworkers, she's a real nice person, but she told me, because like randomly one of the other coworkers were asking, we're talking about credit cards, and I was just explaining to them a couple basics, you know, not like financial advice, but
Yeah.
like obviously credit card companies don't want to tell you how everything works.
Yeah.
Till like you talk to someone older that has more experience and they're like, hey, that happens like this or whatever.
Right.
You know, because there's a lot of odd information, but if you get most of it semi-correct, you should be fine, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about like remaining balances or like, you know, interests. And I was like, well, if you're making your minimum credit card, depending on how much you owe,
Right.
like you can make your minimum and they go, oh, thank you. And then they slap you with interest that's double that.
Yep.
So they know they're going to just keep putting you in the hole. That's what
Exactly.
they want you to do, you know? Like, I mean, and obviously get your money. You're borrowing their money to
Yep.
get interest on it. You know?
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
just-
and you agreed to borrow their money,
And
so
yes,
so
exactly,
they have
you
the legal
agreed.
right to fuck you over in that
Yes.
sense, you know.
Yes. And so my coworker, she was like, yeah, my credit card balance is X, Y, and Z. And she goes, my minimum payment is 50. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, it must be quite a bit. She goes, and I was like, what's the interest? And she goes, like 150. It's like, no.
No way,
I was like,
bro.
no, dude. I was like,
150% or like 150 paid in interest.
so like she
every
pays
month.
$100 and then the next month they hit her with like a 150. So she's like losing 100.
Bro.
It was something crazy like that where it's like more than double whatever.
Oh
I was
my
like,
god.
I just looked at it, I was like, oh, damn. But I
Yeah.
get it. Some people have had actual genuine like harderships, which like she has.
Yeah.
But it is one of those things where you're like, damn, bro, like you got to make a plan.
It is when you someone says it out instead of it's different when you're thinking the thought,
when someone
you know?
says it out loud, and you just see like, and I've known this person for such a long
You're
time.
right,
So
right.
We're totally cool with each other. And we're like, you know, come, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's
Damn.
it's insane.
Because it wasn't me hating. It was just like a fuck. That's life.
Yeah.
Like, that's some people's reality. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, and that's something that I often forget. Because you and I are both are good with our money. I've been obviously better with it the last couple of years, but sometimes just hearing about the financial decisions that other people make, and it's like so.
I think we're good for what we have.
For what we have, yeah.
Because it's not like we have like crazy like jobs that are making crazy money, you know. But also like I feel like lifestyle inflating is never in like our budget, or not in our budget, but not in our like mentality really.
Yeah. Man, yeah. It really puts it into perspective, like how much money people are actually owing. You know what I mean? And like how much money they're willing to just ignore, like how much owed money they're willing to ignore. That's the other thing. The third thing that really gets me is seeing those where it's like they did one of those like lending tree pay like super loans or whatever where
the payday loans where they get them and they're like 120% or like 150
or 200%, and it's like how much did you ask for a loan? And they're like $50. It's like, dude, you're paying 150% interest on $50.
Yeah.
And then that starts stacking up. And then imagine like when they come after you for that. When it becomes too much for even the lending tree.
Yeah.
And even the lending tree is like, no, we have to go get this person now.
That shit is scary. But like I feel like certain areas where people like grow up, they know about these things because people tell them about those things.
Right.
Whereas like we're in a community that like where we grew up was fortunate enough to like we don't even know what payday loans are. Whereas like some people in less fortunate areas, they know that, I can go get free money. And they're like, well, it's the interest, but they don't think about the interest. You know what I mean? Or whatever it is.
They stop themselves right at the it's free money thing.
Yes.
You can just ask
There's
them
no
for a little bit.
later.
Yeah.
Whereas like that's why I've just never... Like Capital One's been bugging me the whole time to open another card with them. Like I'm already pre-approved and everything. It's their Savior One card, which it's really good for like entertainment and like... going out to eat and stuff.
Okay.
But it's just I don't need another line of credit with the same creditor. Like I personally just don't see the point for me.
Yeah, I mean,
I would rather you guys just add a higher limit to just the one card I have with you guys. Than,
right.
Obviously, that's what they want you to do. They want you to have like 4 cards with them.
Right.
That now you got to fucking pay attention to 4 cards.
Right.
No, I'm not doing that.
Well, that's the thing that I was gonna say. It's like a lot of people don't pay attention when they start throwing extra cards and perks in your face, and then before you know it, you got like 4 or 5 different cards, and you're like, oh shit, I owe different amounts on each different one. And then you get like you just get far behind on those.
Yeah,
it's easy to get overwhelmed with having so many lines of credit open.
Yeah, for sure, and that's just in one app,
Well, that's what I'm. Yeah,
like that. Some people have like I personally have 2 cards. One is Apple, one is the Capital One.
Right.
They even want to upgrade my Capital One since I have the silver, which is like the base model.
The base model.
No, yeah, it's like the entry, like...
Yeah.
It's the entry one if you're not like a student or if you're not rebuilding credit. They want to upgrade it, but it's like, I'm not going to do anything with like 1.5 miles cash back, like the miles.
Oh, yeah.
I don't fly or travel enough
and
for that to make sense. Now, eventually one day I would like to, but then I'd probably just go get an Amex.
Right, and there's a bunch of people already at that point, obviously, like... They get those cards for that specific reason is just to farm the miles on it because they actually are in the position to be using them like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or they have a job where it's like they get reimbursed when they try
exactly.
To
yeah. So in that case, it's like, all right, I understand it, but you just see like the average Joe or something. They're like, oh, I got a new credit card because of these miles.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Yeah. Where are you going? I don't know. Maybe one day. It's like, all right.
Okay. Yeah.
Everybody.
Have fun farming the interest on that card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it's I've always known that I haven't been the best with my money in the past. And so now that I'm more like financially aware of myself, it's really jarring to see the types of decisions other people are making. Obviously, like I shouldn't be, it's not that I'm like, what's the word? I'm not jealous, and I'm not like just being a full out hater. I'm just like fascinated at how people are willing to like bury themselves in debt.
It's more of like the fascination because it's like when you've lived long enough and you realize like people are just going to do their thing, and also it's like not like it's your responsibility to give someone advice or help them. Like at some point you just got to watch the show.
Yeah, you just
You know
sit,
what I mean?
sit back, kick your feet up, and then you just watch the chaos around you. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, dude. Some people are making really bad decisions. And then on top of that, you have the good amount of people, several million people, that have like insurmountable amounts of student loan debt
Yeah.
and all that other garbage too. And it's like, okay, well now, whatever you owe on X, Y, or Z cards that you have, plus the student loans that you have on top of that now that are like truly like fucking you over, like for
Yeah.
life, basically. Like you're
Well,
fucked
it's only for life
life.
because everyone puts the minimum because they don't want to think about it till they realize like the amount, the interest that they get charged.
Right.
Like they almost paid for their college like 2 or 3 times over.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm probably exaggerating, but like it's probably damn near not far off.
I mean, you're pretty close on because I keep seeing people talk about their student loan debt and how
My
they,
thing is I feel zero bad for people with student loan debt. Do you want to know why?
why.
Do you go to a restaurant and you pay the bill because
Yeah.
you ate the food?
Uh-huh.
Same thing.
Right.
College isn't like a right, you know.
I mean, it's
of
it's a
people-
privilege.
Yeah, it's a privilege. It's literally what it is. It's a privilege.
Yeah.
And like some people just go to trade school and then come right out making $100,000 as a plumber
Mm-hmm.
and never had to sit a day in like classrooms and finals
Yeah.
and shit or whatever the fuck, you know.
Right.
I'm sure like if anyone's a college person or a school person, they're gonna hear this and like get really mad about it. But it's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, you guys don't get to go to college to get better jobs to make more money, and then you don't have to pay for anything. It's like you got to pay
Right.
to play here.
Exactly.
And that's unfortunate for a lot, but there's a lot of things that help out people that don't have the funds.
Right. And if you go and if let's say
And just don't go and get a useless degree. There's so
Right.
many people that go in and get a
That's-
useless degree, don't
Yeah.
use it, and now their student loan is so high. Now you're like, think about it. In the states we live in, you need a car.
Mm-hmm.
So either you buy a beater that's going to be more reliably unsound, or you're going to buy a nice something newer, and you're going to have a car payment,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
insurance, student loan payments, whatever credit card bills you have, and then obviously at some point you want to buy a house.
and then your rent wherever
Yeah.
you're living
whatever,
at.
Whatever your situation is, you're just buried now.
Yeah.
So that's
for
why you got to
100%.
make those decisions.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. It's like a lot of these people, they go and study whatever it is they want to study, and then they realize as soon as they're done that there isn't, there are jobs out there obviously for like your certain degrees, but for the most part, like finding jobs with those degrees right out of college right now is infinitely more difficult than it was
Oh yeah, for
10
sure.
years ago, 15 years ago. So yeah, there's a lot of like quote unquote useless degrees, to those people. They're like, I studied this, like this is what I wanted to do. It's like, okay, well, you didn't really think about it
Yeah.
because now
I
you're
feel
going
like
to
people-
enter the workforce and not have anything to show for it. No experience. No one wants to hire anybody with no experience these days.
Yeah.
And what's your degree? What is your degree being used for? Like, can you even find a job in that field that you thought you were going to get a degree for?
My thing is
Probably
when people
not.
get like a music degree, an art degree,
Yeah, liberal
like,
arts degree.
or like a philosophy degree. Like you could
Yeah.
literally only be a teacher if you get a philosophy degree.
yeah.
Like, what are you gonna be, the next fucking philosopher and maybe be a popular 100 years later? No, people are just asking questions, and then everyone's like, "Oh my god,
Yeah, this guy's brain.
oh my god, this
he's
guy's
asking
brain is
all these crazy questions.
While
Yeah,
he's just beating himself off under his shirt.
no, it's like
relax,
it's,
bro.
It's like the brain, like those brain wojaks, but
Yeah,
the brain
yeah,
is
yeah.
like shaped like a dick, and they're like all
And he's
jacking it
just
off,
jacking-
like on the top. Yeah.
No, yeah, for sure. That's one of those things where it's like everyone's like, "Oh, student loan forgiveness," and I'm like, "No, you know what you were doing. You went to college just for fun. No,
Right, it's like the
you
only
went to
reason-
college because you knew you were gonna make more money, hopefully coming out of it with a better job.
Right. It's like,
You know?
okay, you have doctors, lawyers, and whatever the fuck, like the guaranteed ones that are,
Nurses, yeah.
nurses. You'll find a decent job. You put in a lot of work to get to where you're at. Deserved, right? Because you're actually getting paid, and these people did pay their student loans off because they found a good job right
I
after.
feel like even doctors and shit take this forever because
takes for-
everybody knows like it's just that little payment. Who gives a shit?
Right.
But it's like who gives a shit over 30 years is a lot.
Is a lot, yeah.
You know?
And so I think, more often than not, people are finding themselves with degrees that aren't really going to benefit them. And now they're just sitting there like, well, I can't pay my student loans, so I'm just going to ignore them, and I'm going to hope that it goes away. Like, obviously, those are the people that would support that type of shit because
Yeah.
they can't afford it anyways. But even then, it's like you shouldn't have. It's not fair to have your debt taken away when other people genuinely paid it off.
Yeah.
And like played the whole game and like
Yeah,
did it themselves.
That wouldn't be fair at all.
Exactly.
Because it's like, again, you went there and you paid for. You knew what you were paying for, and you knew what the outcome was.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad that you're over here like, I have debt. It's like, yeah, but you're also, you should be coming out of college getting, in modern time, you should be getting like $60K a year.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just a start. I guarantee you still live at home, or you're still like somewhere close. And if you're not, okay, then it is what it is. Again, you knew what you were doing, and you knew it was going to be a struggle for a quote unquote better life. You know?
Right.
Like obviously we work restaurant. I don't love it, but it's like it is what it is. It's paying the bills for now. You know.
Yeah.
Like obviously my goal is to do other things, which is photography related, YouTube related, all that shit. You know. But it is what it is. It's like,
yeah,
cool. But then also, you know what it is? I've seen quite a few people like friends, siblings, stuff like that, where they graduate college and then they don't do anything after.
Yeah,
or they go to work their normal job.
It's like you didn't try to find anything within your field that was like related to what you studied. Like,
yeah, dude, it's wild. Like,
they make that decision in their brain, like, oh, all of a sudden that degree is not what you wanted. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what it is? They get there and they go, okay, this is the path I know I'm supposed to take, and they finish that path, and then obviously college was way more lawless than high school, right? Because your hand is so held throughout high school in the States,
and then you have no
and then
help
you get
at
to
all.
college, and then it's like, do it, because like you can structure yourself, you figure it out, and then now it's from college to the actual real world. Like the little path ends there. Now you got to make it yourself.
Yeah,
and then just go, whoa,
that's too much work. I don't want to do that, and so they settle for something easy. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's crazy. It's like, and also I'm playing devil's advocate here now.
For sure.
Kids at the age of 17 and 18, when they're getting prepped in their high schools to go to college, like they get sold the dream. You know what I mean? In a way, they get bamboozled.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
sure.
not like as a 17-year-old you're thinking, oh my God, I would love to get myself $60,000 in debt for all these student loans that I'm eventually going to have to be responsible
and school
for.
Doesn't teach you how loans or debts or interest works. They don't teach you shit.
They don't teach you shit. So you go into it blind, not knowing what to expect, not really knowing what the consequences are going to be of taking out loans of that amount. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden now 5 years later, it's like, oh, fuck. I got so much debt tied to me now.
Because what they do isn't for the loans when you get out of college, they don't start till like a certain amount of time till you're graduated or whatever.
They give you like a grace period of like 2 or 3 years, and then I think like either the last year you're there or like beginning of your junior year, you're supposed to start the process of paying them back. Yeah.
No, yeah, I agree. They do get sold, because I remember every class, no matter where you were, and it's like obviously the demographic of person that goes to be a teacher. We all know what type of demographic they are.
Exactly.
And they're also like the people that think school is everything, or only school is the way to do things, you know?
Yeah.
Not once did I hear any teacher go, or you can do a trade school or anything like that. Not once did you ever hear that. You know? I remember I had to take this one class just to like fill a credit, and it was more of like a financial class. And they actually taught you how like car loans work, this, that, and the other, but it was such a small niche class where it's like, I did learn quite a bit, but not obviously everything. Yeah. And it is funny where they get sold the dummy, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And
like basically every teacher goes, college this, college that, and then they always try to push up the higher education too. It's like, yeah, you have all these educated people,
right?
But it's like,
well, if you have more people following the path you took, then you feel less bad about taking it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. If you can convince others of the same thing, then you don't feel as bad.
Because what does a high school teacher get paid?
I don't even know.
I can't imagine it's great.
Yeah. I imagine it's like $50,000 or less.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get hate for this, but it's like, what other adult works only like 3/4 of the year? Oh yeah, I do work after class. It's like you teach the same thing
over and over again
for the 25 years that you're teaching or whatever.
Yeah,
it's not getting harder.
You should have it like in the bag already. Like, it should be like
you literally have to print copies and have it for the next year.
And I mean, like, okay, the argument of grading papers and then like doing summer classes and stuff. I'm like, okay, but that's like extra stuff.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of teachers just take those 3 months, 4 months, and they're like, fuck it, don't talk to me, bye.
Yeah, what adult gets that much time off?
That's crazy.
If you really think about it, and they want more pay, it's like, dude, you've got to work.
You got to work for that money.
Yeah. I think, you know what's funny, was a good one, was when you realize that the nutrition break, lunch, and everything was actually just so the teachers can get their legal breaks.
Oh,
it's not for the students.
Yeah.
Because you get into school, right? Your class is 2 hours, and then there's a 15-minute break.
Yeah.
There's another 2 hours, and then it's lunch. And
That's a 30-minute break.
And then it's done.
Yeah.
It's not for the kids.
That makes sense. Yeah,
it's
you're right.
It's not for the kids.
Yeah, so that the adults get there because they're on the
because they're on their legal grounds, you know.
Because they're there from like what 6:30, 7 in the morning to like 3. So yeah, they have to have their breaks spread out throughout the day. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That makes sense.
Now, is it a lot of work? Sure, but it's like, dude, if you're telling me you're grinding for these hours and days or whatever, and then you get to have a month off at one point or something, or whatever the school structure is. Or like Thanksgiving breaks a week for you. It's like no other adult.
Yeah, you get Thanksgiving break, you get spring break, which is 2 weeks, you get Christmas break, which is 2 weeks. A lot of classes, like a lot of high schools, like my high school, they did winter intersession. So it's like a month of like not even classes. Like you take one class. Like I took racquetball. Like I took racquetball for a whole month. You know what I mean? So it's like, dude, intercession fucking rocks. And so it's like, fuck, it's not like that hard, you know what I mean? But you do get sold the dummy as a 17-year-old, 18-year-old. You don't know any better. You have all these college reps telling you how important it is and student counselor telling you how important it is. It's their job.
It's their job to sell you debt that like is... And like, you know what I know we're gonna get shitted on for this part of this, like
probably
easily, but it's fine with me because I don't read the comments at all. Is their job to sell you the debt? And like, oh fuck, where was I gonna go with that?
You had it.
Oh, I had it. But yeah, like they know they're getting paid to sell you the debt. Oh, this is what it is. This is what I like. I like that bankruptcy does not delete student loan debts.
Oh yeah.
Fight me on that. I don't care. I love that shit.
Yeah.
One, BK's usually not good because people bankruptcy, your credit's asked for like whatever 10 years.
Yeah.
And then like, and then you got to build it up or whatever, you know.
They BK.
But
That's
most people, a lot of people BK and then just go right back to fucking up because they're like, oh, I got my shit cleaned. Aha, fuck you guys, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
But also, it's like, I'm glad that BK doesn't get rid of student loan debt because then it's like you would just go to college, become a doctor, and then be like bankruptcy.
Yeah, and then you don't
go
have
get a
to
job
pay.
and be like, I'm good.
Well, the thing with that is like with college loans, it's a federal loan.
Yeah.
You know, like I would assume that has more weight than just like your average bank loan, but at the same time, it's like it's an egregious amount of money to be
for sure
to be loaned at that age. You know, at 17, 18 years old, and then you get $20,000, $30,000 loans, or you get full ride or whatever the fuck. Like, there's just so many things that you just can't think about or comprehend at that age. So like you just go with it, and then all of a sudden 4 or 5 years later it knocks on your door and it's like, oh fuck, like I actually owe a shitload of money. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And I haven't found a job yet because everybody else in my grade and the 2 grades above me has been in the same spot trying to find a job in the same entry level position. So it's like oversaturated market with like hella people that have these degrees that are fucking meaningless. It's crazy.
My favorite is what do you want to college for? Business and administration. Oh, no way.
Oh, no way. So what are you going to do with it?
Business. Oh, yeah, like everyone else, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, me talking as a guy that never went to college.
I mean, I was in that same camp of like business administration just because I didn't know what just because I genuinely didn't know what I wanted, and it's such a broad like degree that you get, you know, but it doesn't, like, how are you going to apply that to anything when they say get an entry-level job, but no one wants to hire these entry-level jobs? And even if you do get an entry-level job, a lot of those ones are like unpaid internships.
Yeah.
So what? Like, we're all stroking our cocks and not making money over here? Like, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, dude, the unpaid internship stuff, like, this is where we went and back at me.
Yeah.
You hear it? That's trash.
That's fucked up.
Or like the minimum wage, like even that, like that's trash. There should be a certain level where like these people get paid to they're able to like semi-survive. Because like say you do have those student loans, maybe you have a car that you need to pay for, because in the States we can't make it anywhere without a car. And I guess unless you live in like New York City, which is like the one city.
Yeah.
Even all the other cities, like San Diego, you can't not have a car.
Exactly.
You know, unless you happen to work from home, and that's it. But that whole unpaid internship shit, like, what in the fucking free labor is that they just allow? Yeah,
that's what I don't understand. I think the way it should be is a quote-unquote unpaid internship should be like it starts your junior year of college while you're still doing your degree. You should be able to find a part-time internship that, to some degree, like if they're not paying you for it, then at least like whatever 65% goes towards your tuition being paid.
Yeah, your
As
student
an,
loan.
as an intern, if you're working for a company,
Oh, for
then
sure.
you're
Yeah,
studying
that would be worth it. So you're getting something out of
so
it.
you're getting something out of it. So let's say they say, okay, we're not going to pay you a paycheck, but you're going to work part time, and whatever money you would have made working those part time hours for us as your internship will go towards a fund that's only for you, but that applies to your loans only or your tuition only.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing you can as a credit. You know what I mean?
That's a good one.
Okay. In that system, I could see, okay, then it makes the internship more valuable because now you're getting the ball rolling. You're getting some credit back towards the degree that you're getting for this particular internship that's for the job that you want, right?
Yeah.
So then you start with the company. They don't pay you fully, but you're getting your tuition kind of paid for. Okay, that credit builds up with the company. You graduate. Now you've already got 2 years of experience or 3 years of experience.
Yeah.
You've paid, 50% to 75% of your whatever graduation thing is going to cost or your tuition is going to cost. And then you can start actually getting a paycheck. Okay, entry level position at this job or whatever with these degrees. It starts at 45K or 40K or whatever the number is, right?
Yeah.
Then you can start making real money as you're graduating college. Now it's like, okay, I've worked up my credit. I've paid X amount of my tuition off.
Yeah.
Now I'm starting to make money.
Even if you came out with
whatever.
like 30% paid, like that would be fucking the move.
That'd be the move because most people I've seen take out like anywhere from $30,000 to like $70,000 worth of loans.
Yeah.
On
and some
average.
people are more depending on what schools you go to,
Right,
what things
right.
you do. Yeah. Like some are crazy.
So who knows? But in my brain, that's off the top of my head, I can think of one way easily that you can make internships more valuable.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
have actually apply the value and the skills that are needed to. Okay, now you graduated, you have 2 years experience. We're gonna pay you for real now.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you've already done your time as a student. You know what I mean? And that's what it should be.
Yeah,
But-
no, for sure. I think that's a good solution.
But it is fucked up, and they obviously know what they're doing, and they obviously take advantage of people doing that because that's how they make their money. But now it's getting to the point where it's like it's perverse. It's
Perverse.
like it's crazy, man. Like it's like they're sick fucks because they already know that they're gonna take advantage of these people, and they're not gonna realize till it's too late. And now you're already on the hook for it.
Yeah, and then obviously that young person's like, well, this is what I have to do to get to this next level job that I want to do, or X, Y, or Z.
Right.
So it's like one of those things where it's like,
They've never been
It's
told
fucked up.
that the reality that really exists outside the classroom is that you can make it without a degree.
for sure. Now, is it probably easier if you have a degree that's applicable? to
In some,
something you
in
s-
some instances, yes.
Yeah, for sure. But the whole life they've been told school.
Mm-hmm.
whole time.
It's fucked up. They've been sold a lie,
Yeah,
a dummy.
because you can make money so many different ways that don't require like school
Mm-hmm.
or even just a trade.
Even if it's not a trade, there's a lot of, if you're good at networking or you just, I don't know. Like I said, a lot of stuff is just up to dumb luck in a sense,
Yeah.
but also
There's a lot of legal ways to make good money in life without school.
exactly, and you just have to be. One, you have to have the tenacity to just go look for that type of shit, but you
Yeah.
also have to have the balls to just do it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because a lot of these people, they made their own business or they did their own venture or whatever. It may have started small for many years, but it picked up momentum and now they're living a decent life equivalent to someone who may have, spent their time studying.
or even like
Who
a lot
knows?
of the times a better life.
Yeah, and in a lot of cases, a better life. Like I have an old coworker when I lived in Bend, Oregon. He was a chef, right? Like he worked 5 days a week at night or in the morning, and then he switched to working at night with me. But in the morning, he would work his landscaping business 3 or 4 days a week
Yeah.
as like extra money. And he was living in Bend, Oregon, with the prices going up. He was living in a decent house. He had 5 kids.
Jesus.
He had I think his oldest, he bought them like a nice used car. His wife has like a nice minivan. He has like a really nice truck that he worked for and he customized. But this guy has no education formally. He's from like deep water Mexico. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really know English that well, but he found a way to fucking survive and do it legitimately.
Jesus. I get that one, but that's a crazy one. 5 kids plus working basically every day of the week?
Well, he worked 5 days a week, and 3 out of those 4 days in the morning or 3 out of those 5 days, sometimes 4 days in the morning, he would work his landscaping business.
Jesus, that's a lot though.
So I mean,
That's also those like super like you got soft hands, brother. Those guys.
But see what I mean. But I'm not because I'm not excluding any of the options.
Yeah.
There's ways to do it. If, like I said, you have the tenacity, you have the balls to do it.
For sure.
Then you can get it. You'll find a way to get it done.
Yeah.
Regardless of your degree.
Dude, 5 kids is crazy though.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that and it's killing me on the
No,
inside.
and he was telling me, he's like, well, my number that I wanted was 8, but my wife said no more after 5. I was like, dude, you're so crazy
Tax
for that.
season must look wicked for them.
Yeah, because they
you
claim
have
5
5
dependents.
kids?
Yeah. So they probably get a good amount back.
I was watching a Caleb Hammer video, and this lady has like 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, not being totally mean, but she was a total kind of clown.
Okay.
The government gave her 10 G's tax season because
the
of her
fuck?
kids. 10 G's. And she blew it all on like a vacation.
No way.
Yeah.
That's disgusting behavior, dude.
Yeah, she blew it all.
And that's the thing where I'm like, some people just don't deserve money.
On like a concert and then like other BS. And she goes, well, no one else was making money then, so I paid for everything. It's like, what? What do you mean?
That's exactly what
you
I
got
mean.
leeches around you. Oh, yeah, here, I'll send you the link to the episode. It's so funny. I'm sure if anyone's listening, they saw this episode because it's a recent one.
I'm like thinking about it and it's making me cringe.
So the
bad.
dude wasn't. I guess the dude got into an accident. Her new boyfriend, not the baby daddy or whatever. I don't think.
Okay.
He got into an accident, hurt his hand, so he couldn't work for a while. But my favorite part is he was every week spending like $70 at the smoke shop, and then he bought like some girl's OF with the account that is his girl's.
Oh,
so not only is he doing nothing, but he's
God,
spending
dude.
her money and like, dude, you bought an OF on like of some other girl that's not yours, like.
When you
On her
don't have a
account,
job.
When you don't have a job and you're just buying shit from the smoke shop with money that's not yours. Dude, I was fucking howling. And everyone in the comment section was like, that's messed up. That's so messed up. Like, offended by it. And I was howling.
Oh my God, dude. See what I mean?
Hey.
That's the level of stupidity that like people have with money, because because they don't teach you how to respect it. You know what I mean?
The goal.
Dude, no job, sitting on your ass, you spend $70 a week, which is $280 a month, on paraphernalia at the fucking smoke shop, and then plus $12 a month off this one bitch's OnlyFans. Like
some virtual box that's like you can't even get in. You know, that you can't even like
when you could have
and you're
just
literally seeing it on your pixelized
when you could have gone to Pornhub for free.
Yeah.
If it was really that bad that you needed it, you know, the stimulations, like there's so much shit for free on the internet that there's no need.
I don't get it.
I
genuinely don't get it.
Yeah.
That's why I was just like dying, and I was like, damn, this person genuinely is like, I don't know if like it's low IQ is okay, but like just genuinely dumb. Like, could you and she made like, I think she would net like 25 G's a year. So you get a lump sum of 10 G's and you blow it.
Which is like already just about half of what you make in a year, and then you just blow it on some shit because, no one was. I just paid for it. Like what? What do you mean?
And she had a bunch of debts that she didn't pay back with that money.
Exactly. So like, dude, that's why I just don't understand how. I mean, I do understand, but I don't understand. It's just crazy. People don't realize the consequences of bad monetary decisions.
Okay, could you imagine if somebody handed you half of what you would make in a year right now, whatever that money may be, but like my first thought wouldn't be, yo, let's go fuck this off. My first thought would be, that's crazy. Okay, well, I'm going to live the same life I'm living now, except that money is going into high yield savings immediately. Or like, if you're going to hand me that money, I would just go max out the Roth IRA or something. You know?
Yeah, my first thought is doing the calculation of 75% of that goes into the high yield savings. Like I'm going to the bank and being like, I have, $14,000 that I want to put in a nice savings account. Can I do this today?
Yeah.
That's like the first thought that comes to mind when I think of like if I were to receive any amount of money over 10 grand like that.
Yeah.
Instantly is like my first thought is, where am I going to stash this? And then I'm going to keep a little bit extra so that maybe I can buy myself a nice thing or two.
Yeah.
And then that's it, call it a day. But people's first thought when they get money like that is, how am I going to spend all of this?
Yeah.
Which is insane, because at that point, like, you've come up really good if you get
So
just
let's
a
just call,
$10,000 lump sum or more. You know what I mean?
let's just put ourselves in her spot where they say you got 10 grand right now to make it easy for both
Okay.
of us.
Yeah.
How much of that are you actually going to put away, and how much of that are you going to like not blow, but like be okay with spending?
I would be okay with spending no more than $3,500.
Okay.
That would, like, if I spent more than $3,500 of if someone just gave me 10 grand,
Yeah.
if I spend more than $3,500, like I would feel very stupid.
Yeah.
But that's just my first off the rip
Yeah.
opinion, you
No,
know?
for sure. I see what you mean.
Because if I'm not saving at least half of it, then something's wrong.
Yeah. Honestly, where
At the
I'm at
very
right
least.
now, if somebody handed me like 10 G's, like cash, I would maybe only spend maybe about 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not even like that crazy. I'd be reluctant to even spend 1,000 right now.
Yeah.
I'd probably just buy like, you know me, I've been building up my film,
Oh, yeah.
my film
Your stash.
stash, yeah. Just so like I can buy it all now and then just never have to buy new rolls for the rest of the year and then just only develop. But honestly, I'd probably only spend like 500 to 1,000, and I just literally put the rest of the 9 in a savings account and then just let it sit there.
And just let it sit there, yeah.
Because it's one of those things where it's like clearly we're not going to get something crazy like that, you know. But it's like you get random 10 G's like that.
Dude, that's what I mean.
I'd be so mad if I blew that.
Yeah, that's why I was glad that when we were getting the stimmies, that I was putting some of that away.
Yeah.
Because I knew eventually we'd get taxed on it.
Oh well, I had mine set up to where it was.
You already paid the taxes out of it, but I
Yeah.
didn't. I was just getting the full amount untaxed.
Yeah.
And so I had to keep it in my mind that I couldn't spend all of it, even though I wanted to. And I was inclined to, because at that point we're not doing jack shit. So like we were just bored spending money. In that sense, I had to think about it after the first couple where I was like, shit, I didn't hit the setting where, you know, I was paying taxes out of it already.
But, I mean, they had all that records. I'm sure you didn't owe a whole lot back, did you?
No, not a lot. But the what I'm getting at is like that train of thought of already thinking about saving some or putting some away
Some people
was
lack
already
that.
there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I see what you
exactly.
mean.
Some
I'll
people
have to
don't
send
have
you the
it.
link. You can skim through it. I'm sure there's timestamps so you could just see some of the ridiculousness. But
Yeah.
it's quite entertaining sometimes.
Yeah, dude. People are dumb with their money.
Motherfuckers be stupid, dog.
They're fucking dumb with their money. That's why I think, you know, I'll say this a million times over. Some people just don't deserve money. I feel like some people just don't deserve it. They just, dude, it's just a waste.
Honestly,
It's
though,
just a waste.
it's pretty entertaining for the people that are bad with it.
Yeah, it is entertaining because I could never see myself being in any of those positions. So seeing someone actually get to that spot is like, that's why I think it's fascinating for you and me.
No, my favorite is when people are blowing money on like OFs, DoorDash, and then this most recent guy, like he was blowing so much money on like strippers.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like he was running off with like his $2,000 checks, right? Like his $2,000 checks, and would just like blow 90% of it at the strip club. I was like, you deserve it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like that is behavior that where it's like you are the full recipient of those consequences.
Yeah.
And I don't feel bad whatsoever.
No, not at all.
Not at all. But that trope is funny to me because it's like, even in the pirate show, it's like they get their score, you know,
Yeah.
and then they go inland they go mainland, like when as soon as they hit the water, and they spend all of it on like whores and rum and shit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like, okay, well,
It's literally work hard, play hard.
It's like
they're
that-
like
yeah.
the oil rig guys.
yeah. So like that phenotype has existed for hundreds of years, you know,
Yeah.
if not thousands of years.
Oh, for sure.
But it's just funny to think that like even compared to like the Roman times, like it still plagues us. It still
For sure.
plagues a lot of people.
Okay, so gooning just plagues humans. It just is what it is.
Gooning is just innate human behavior.
Dog, for sure though. No,
Right.
I agree.
Yeah.
We've all had like parts of like lives where we've been gooning and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course, but it's just, you know, to the point where you're spending 90% of your paychecks on gooning.
That's crazy.
You need help.
But you know what also kind
You
of
need
screwed
Jesus
us?
in your
that
life.
kind of bugs me sometimes. No, it doesn't really bug me. It's like throughout the whole like 2020 to like maybe when people stopped caring, like early 2022 or whatever.
Yeah, just about.
That we had to kind of burn through like a lot of our, like our savings is just to survive.
Just to make it.
That kind of sucked.
It did kind of suck.
Like our generation, like a lot of us got our money deleted that era.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like the kids now that are coming up that are like maybe 21 now, they haven't had the hardship like that, and they probably never will because global pandemics don't come around that often.
Right.
And so I was like, damn, we got cucked.
We got cucked out of our savings.
But also, for me, it was like, it happened in an era where we pretty much, everyone in our age group still had full freedom, whereas like they were probably still in high school, living like the child life, and like someone else is saying what they can and can't do. So like there's like obviously like a pro and a con, but
right. But imagine, I'm thinking when we bring that up, I think of the other side of the spectrum that weren't so lucky in the sense where like they just bought a house or they had just made a big like purchase,
true.
and they're like really down on liquid. And now they're just like double fucked because they can't do shit or like they got fired from their jobs.
Or no. My favorite were all the people buying cars.
Oh my God.
And then the loan rates went up or whatever happened.
Yeah.
And now there's so many used cars in the market because everybody was just sending their cars back and defaulting on them.
Mm-hmm. They're getting repoed. They're getting repoed like
repo. Dude, okay, that's funny.
Repo man's having a good day today.
I came across this random account. Like I was just scrolling, it's just randomly I'll go.
Yeah.
And this guy like just like has like the little 360 camera in the truck of his bed, and then like the GoPro set up in his. He's not like on TV or anything. He's just like posting.
He just does it himself.
He just does it himself. The rate at which he pulls up on people, drops the little thing while he's running that little, and then just fucking hooks him up and just basically yanks the car.
He gets him with like the fork.
Yes.
It like goes around it like squeezes the tires and picks it up. But he gets him in like 20 seconds, dude.
And then he just pulls off with them. The amount of people that defend people getting repoed in the comments is crazy.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually wild.
It's actually wild.
Yeah.
Like, you're taking their car. It's like, okay, well, I can tell this neighborhood is probably very low income, and you have like a $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 car.
How do you expect to keep anything, right, that you have to pay taxes on or insurance for?
Or
how can you keep
payments.
Or make payments on? How do you keep anything valuing more than $10,000 like that? And then expect to keep it when you don't pay for it. And then they do the thing where I saw one guy on a repo channel, it was like a Dodge Charger or something, and he had it parked like in his porch so that the guy couldn't come and swoop and like take it out easy. Like it had to be pulled out a certain way for it to even be released. I'm like, why even have the car at that point?
Yeah. When you know they're staring at you 24/7.
Just waiting for you to park it somewhere where they can grab it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Going to a restaurant and chilling.
You can't do any of that. So why even have the car to begin with?
Yeah.
It's just so crazy. Like the amount of people that will be against the repo guy and be like against him for taking the car. It's like,
dude,
you don't
so
understand.
insane the amount of comments, and it's like people just, and like one of the best comments was, "Oh, people just don't believe in paying their bills anymore, huh?"
Yeah, people just think that you can just say you're going to pay something and then get it for free. Basically, it's not how it works.
I'm gonna look up to see how much a repo person makes.
They make a decent amount depending on what city and how many people they get. I think it's like a what's it called? Not
probably like how many cars they repo.
Yeah. There's a word for that specific way of making money, but I can't remember it right now.
What's it called? It's almost like how retail has it.
You know what I mean? It's
commission
based.
Yeah.
But the commission is how many cars you get. It's basically like
This has got to be wrong.
What?
In the United States is 33,000 as of April 24, 2024, but the salary typically falls between 27,000 and 35,000. How much does a repo truck driver make in the USA? The average repo truck driver's salary in the USA is $100K per year. Wow, the spread here is wild. I'm assuming it's a good job because people wouldn't buy the trucks and everything.
I think it also takes into account like the lowest average and the highest average, meaning like in small cities where you're not repoing like that many things, like a small town somewhere in like Oklahoma or something, you probably won't make that much as a tow guy,
Yeah.
But let's say you live in like Seattle or New York or somewhere where there's just millions of people just compacted together and the rate of getting cars is higher, you probably make more that way.
Yeah.
If it is truly on a commission base where like depending on how many cars, you get like a bonus or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Every tow company is different, so.
I seen one where the dude had the truck. This guy had it wasn't even like that crazy of a truck. It was just like a decently new F-150 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude had it in the car wash.
No
but
way.
But it's a park-in car wash, and they wash it, and then you pull it back out or whatever.
Yeah.
And he literally went in there and towed it out of there with all the soap and shit on it.
Oh, fuck, dude.
I was like, yes. Oh, yeah, bro, you don't pay your bills. You don't get to keep the things that you promised to pay.
No, that's so funny, though. The guy woke up that day and was like, I'm gonna wash the car. You know, like
Mm.
I'm gonna get it all nice and shiny. Like turns around for 2 seconds and then it's gone.
Yeah, it was great.
Yoinked with all the soap still on it.
That's
Fuck.
amazing.
Well, yeah, dude. People are fucking stupid with money. We'll leave
Yep.
it. We'll leave it at that.
Yep. We will see you guys same time next week
Yep. We'll catch you
on
again.
episode 31.
Damn. 31.
31. We're good.
We're almost there at the.
We ain't got much time till we've been doing it for a year.
Yep. Which is good.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Yeah. We'll catch you on the next one, guys. See you later.
Adios.
Bye.